Peace, peace, peace. Yo, that would have been perfect if I would have just caught that on record. I just seen his brother. He's about to go into the church over there, into the so-called house of worship. And I just stopped him real fast. I said, yo, brother, you know that the black man is God? He was like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was like, in my mind, I was like, man, you don't really know what I'm saying. But anyway, I just elaborated a little further. I said, yeah, bro. I said, yeah, man, the black man is God, the only God in the universe. And I said, because I noticed you about to go into a so-called house of worship. And I said, you know how the scripture says that, your body is your temple? And I said, and he's like, yeah. And I said, a temple is a place where you give reverence or acknowledgement to God. So I said, if your body is your temple, then your body is where you give acknowledgement to God. So therefore, you are God. You know what I'm saying? He was like, all right, brother, yeah. I said, yo, listen, bro. Psalms chapter 82, verse 6. And I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. I was like, Psalms 82, verse 6. Look it up, bro. Peace, God. He's like, all right, bro. All right, brother. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, boom, peace. So I left, right? And then I just jumped on this live. And I said, yo, that would have been, because, sometimes it ain't all about for the public eye. A lot of times I'll be building with people, and sometimes I have the phone right here and I could put it on record. I could do a live on Facebook, but it ain't always for me to be just proselytizing myself with information and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because some things I just do naturally and it just be in the flesh. Like last week I was over there on the corner. I was over on the Ave and I was passing by. The dude was on the corner. And, they was out there teaching that, the Lord and Jesus and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And, and then he started talking that sin, stuff and all of that. And, so, and then, I had the original man hoodie on with the big universal flag on, what I'm saying? So I said, you know what? I was walking by, I said, nah, man, I got to go back and drop the knowledge, man, because he out there with the speaker too. You know how they be having a little headpiece thing with this little clip-on speaker thing, and they be trying to project their voice loud. Like, man, listen, I was just as loud as that little speaker thing he had, so you wasn't drowning me out. You know what I'm saying? Like the Hebrew Israelites try to do with the loudspeaker. They come out there with the bullhorn. And the Lord has said, you know what I'm saying? So while you over there saying what you saying, and maybe the people that's like right there in the immediate, area can hear you, but people from afar can't hear you, but they can hear what they singing on that loud ass bullhorn. You know what I'm saying? So, or if they got the mic and the speaker and all of that, they definitely gonna drown you out. But anyway, like I said, it goes into the topic of, today's topic. It says religion versus spirituality. And the reason why I wanted to go into that is because, you got a lot of people, I'm Aquarius myself, you know what I mean? So I understand that we are in the age of Aquarius, which is, in the Aquarius to be the water bearer, and as we know, water is the wisdom. So we constantly bearing water, we constantly bearing wisdom, whether it's through our wise words, through our ways and actions, our deeds, you know what I mean? People see, the motion of the water, through the ways and actions of our wisdom. So, like Bruce Lee said, you must be like water, you know what I'm saying? Be water, my friend. But anyway, so, this is a real ill topic because like a lot of people, coming into information, we also in what they call the information age. So in this so-called information age, a lot of people are coming into different schools of thought, you know what I'm saying? Different, philosophies and so forth, so me particularly coming up from like this age of 14, knowledge, culture, knowledge, power, having the knowledge of self. And then I just started adding on, and learning about myself and going through my studies, my trials, tribulations, my due diligence, and, and learning things through my experience, then, that's what led me in my path, you know what I'm saying? As coming into the knowledge of the 5%, also known as the nation of gods of earth. So the lessons, the 120 lessons, supreme mathematics, rather I say first and foremost, the supreme mathematics, supreme alphabet, and the 120 lessons is what, made me rooted, you know what I mean? Because one thing we know in the knowledge degree, who was the original man? The original man being an Asiatic black man, maker and owner, cream planet Earth, all the civilization, God of the universe. So we know that that's speaking about the original man, the black man. Who's the colored man, the Caucasian white man, the Yaku's grafted devil. So we know that that's referring to the so-called white man. So we know right there in those first 2 degrees who the original man is and who the colored man is, who the original and who the copy is. You know what I mean? Who the original and who the copycat is. You know what I'm saying? Or the so-called carbon copy, but he's not really dealing with carbon because his melanin ain't even on that level no more. So, you know, the 666 carbon that we deal with, 6 electrons, 6 protons, 6 neutrons, you know what I'm saying? They try to divert that and make it some devil shit like, oh, 666, that's the devil. And oh, no, that's perfect balance and harmony in the universe. Anyway, let me stick to my guns, stick to my point. The point that I'm making is that, like I say, religion versus spirituality. A lot of people are coming out of religion, you know, and starting to come into a sense of spirituality. But, you know, my thing is like, what is spirituality? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, first let's deal with the root of the word, spirit. The word spirit comes from the root word spira, which is a Latin word meaning breath. So spirit is breath. As they say, Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost, and ghost in Hebrew means lungs. So the Holy Ghost is the Holy Spirit is the breath, you know what I mean, within the lungs. And this is why you notice a lot of Eastern philosophies. Peace to James Coad in the building. Appreciate your attendance. Peace. You know how a lot of Eastern philosophy they study, you know, breathing techniques and, you know, and so forth, and prana and, you know, and meditation and so forth, because they understand the science of air, of breath, and understanding that breath is life. Listen, if you stop believing in God right now and say you went on to live another, say you was like 3 years old, and your parents told you there's no mystery God in the sky, don't believe that. Listen, that was a lie. They try to trick us all to make us think that there's some kind of spooky power outside of ourselves. But no, son, you are the God. You have the power within yourself to do and create whatever your mind conceives that is real, and you can bring into existence. You have that power, son. You have that power, daughter. And that's what we got to teach our kids, because otherwise we teaching them some mystery, fairy tale, Wizard of Oz stuff. They're never going to know to have the power of their own self. They're going to be thinking the power is outside of themselves. It's like in the movie The Wizard of Oz. You see in The Wizard of Oz how they were searching, following the yellow brick road, trying to find something that they already had within themselves. And when they got to the end of the damn yellow brick road, they realized that the Oz wasn't even real. He was some fake-ass dude behind a curtain with a loud voice. Just like they project this fake mystery God to be. Peace to God, scientific intelligence. You know what I'm saying? You know, just like they project this so-called mystery God to be. I am God, and I am the creator of all, and I do this and that, and, you know, peace, precious, too real. You know what I mean? You know, and so forth and so forth. So they give us an image of a mystery God, like this fairy tale spooky God, right? But in all reality, you are the true and living God. And then also they tell you, oh, the devil, he's this evil man down in the ground. He has horns on his head, and he chase you around the fire with a pitchfork. He poke you in your ass. If you did wrong, he burn in a bunch of fire for the rest of your life. Like, come on, man. We might as well believe in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You know what I'm saying? Might as well believe in, you know. I mean, come on. And even though it's very inspirational, you know what I'm saying, Black Panther and all of that, but we might as well believe that Wakanda is a real place. Or in Coming to America, that Zamunda is an actual place in Africa. There's no place called Wakanda in Africa. There's no place called Zamunda in Africa. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and maybe Zamunda might have been an ancient name of somewhere in Africa. Let me not just discard that. But Wakanda, we know that's some made up shit. You know what I'm saying? That's Stan Lee right there. That's Stan Lee and the boys. You know what I'm saying? And Marvel comic books and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Where they go to, and not just saying that they're dumb or unintelligent, because understand, they study all the Kemetic and African symbolisms and histories and deities, and they create these superheroes off of our African deities. So realize they're making characters off of you, and then projecting them to you like, oh, look at this. He's a superhero. He can do this or that and the third. Nigga, that's you. What you mean? I can do that too. In a real sense, not in a dramatic, you know, fairy tale, you know, type way they make it. But, you know, but yeah. So going back to the main point. So like I say, so, you know, and you know what actually kind of sparked me on that, man? I had a little conversation earlier with somebody on Facebook, and they were talking about, God is real, God, some shit about God is good all the time, and God, some whatever they were saying. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, are you talking about the God of the Bible? Because the God of the Bible in Isaiah 45 and 7 says, I create good, it says, I make the light and I form the darkness. I create war and I make peace. I create, I make good and I create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So he said that in Isaiah 45 and 7, he creates evil. So if God creates evil, then how you gonna blame anybody else for evil when the creator of it is this motherfucker right here who said he created it? I, the Lord, do all. And not only did he create it, he said, I, the Lord, do all these things. So not only did he create it, he also participates in the creation. So he does evil. The Lord does evil. Come on, man. So, but you know, I'm not talking about that. I have a personal connection with, see, and that's another thing too with this whole, people try to get on this corny old, I have a personal connection with God. I have a, it's a personal connection, and I know I don't go through religion and churches and stuff. I have a personal connection with God, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because for one, the ideology that was planted in your mind is something fictitious. So your so-called connection to a divine being, if it's something that's fictitious in your mind, that only exists in your mind, and you have your own version of it in your mind, like everybody got their own version of what they think God is in their own mind, right? So if that's real, then is there a million different gods? Or is our own ideology or our own concept of God who we actually are? Because we can only perceive it from who we are to be what we think it to be. So that's why I always say that God is simply just a mentality. It's an idea of how you perceive it to be, and basically how you should apply it to yourself. So if you see God as being the Asiatic black man to make an on the planet Earth on the civilization God of the universe, then you got to make that walk and talk. You know what I'm saying? You can't just talk it as, God spit the degrees. That should sound fly. Yeah, God to make it on clean. No, you got to make that walk and talk. So, as you show and prove that you are Asiatic, mind and body, one in mind and body, and you make her, you know what I'm saying, showing and proving that you are the maker, you know what I mean? You make her, like I say, some would say by marrying, you know what I'm saying? Or some would say by teaching, so like I say, the marriage is in the mind. And another sister said the other day, with that marriage in the mind stuff. So I said, okay, well, if you get married on paper, it's gonna be way more worse than what you think. The marriage in the mind is not good enough, or what you think, you know what I'm saying? Because basically you looking for some kind of security out of the whole situation, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I get married, then I gotta have some kind of security in the situation, or I gotta have a fallback plan, or I gotta use this man as my slave to basically, if something happens, or you know what I mean? Like, man, get out of here with all of that, man. If that man don't produce that naturally, then that ain't the man you're supposed to be with. But don't try to manipulate him and use some kind of system to do that, you know what I'm saying, to him. Peace to Frank Sosa in the building. You know what I'm saying? I'm drifting now. Let me go on back. But yeah, a lot of that comes from our religious mindset anyway, too, because a lot of our women been taught that God is some white man in the sky, and being that we've been oppressed with white supremacy and slavery, they use religion during slavery to teach us that, obey your master, your heavenly masters, as you would obey your earthly masters as you would obey Christ. So therefore they're telling you, like, look at the slave master and respect him as you would respect so-called Christ. So what is that to say? That Christ is a slave master, or that the slave master resembles or is in the same authoritative perspective as Christ? So as a slave master. So it's like to say that, obey Christ if you would to obey the slave master. So that's some slavery shit within itself, you know what I'm saying? Because it's teaching you that, you should basically bow down and pray to some bullshit that don't even exist. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, the motherfucker that do exist in the physical right here, whooping your ass and treating you all kind of ways, you're supposed to forgive him and pray to some mystery and say, no, because I know that one day I'm going to a greater place beyond this. And, my God is going to give me my share in the afterlife. And man, get out of here with all of that, man. You better get your shit right now and right here. Because all that afterlife shit, only afterlife is what you leave on to your children. What you leave for your children. That's going to be your afterlife. In fact, your children are your afterlife. You know what I'm saying? Because after you gone, who else is going to be here but what you physically reproduce through your genetic DNA? Your afterlife. You know what I'm saying? As they call it, your offspring. And in a more futuristic way of seeing it, more so than saying it's a past tense, like my afterlife, like after I died, then they're going to be here. No. While I was here, I produced these children, and they are my offspring, and therefore they're going to continue doing what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? In their own way. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody got their own self-styled wisdom. You know what I'm saying? So, we got to understand that, man. Life is an infinite cycle, man. So going back to this whole concept of religion versus spirituality. So a lot of people say they coming into this whole spiritual age, or this age of enlightenment and all of this, and everybody's getting enlightened with all these different philosophies and so forth. And I'm not trying to say particularly that the nation of God's earth got the source, or got the juice. But the supreme mathematics, man, listen, supreme mathematics is perfect. That is a perfect numeric system that is perfect, meaning absence of error. When I say perfect in this sense, I'm not saying mature, and I mean absence of error. I can say absence of error when I speak about supreme mathematics. Because for one, you're not, how how brother told me one time, he said his enlightener, he gave him the mathematics like this. He said, look, show and prove that knowledge is not the original man. Show and prove that wisdom is not the original woman. Show and prove that understanding is not the black child. You know what I'm saying? Show and prove that culture is not mathematics, and so forth and so forth. If you can show and prove that it's not, then okay, then you can say that. But if not, then it must be.
Check the dollar man, down the block or right here? Down this way?
Yeah, maybe a little more up there by the
movie?
The buses and stuff right there.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right, thanks a lot.
But then again,
you gotta go down this way, baby.
Which way you trying to go though?
Far
Rockaway.
I don't know if that dollar van goes that way though.
Yeah, we catch them all the
They
time.
used to be here, but they're not here no more.
Okay, it must be a different one then. The one I usually take it comes from like Hempstead and all that. Yeah. But all right though. But other than that though, I know the Q9 goes to Far Rockaway Boulevard. I know the last stop is Rockaway Boulevard on the Q9. Peace. But yeah, peace. So a lot of people, they got these mixed concepts, you know what I'm saying, of what they've been told or what they think is real, and so on and so forth. So being that we've been given all this crazy mix-up religion, then when we come into the age of enlightenment or the information age, piece of Emiraj Hotep Ra in the building. When we come into all this enlightenment and we're not rooted, such as having supreme mathematics and knowing 120 lessons, knowing that the black man is God, knowing that the Caucasian white man is the devil, knowing that these basic fundamental things. If you don't know those first two degrees, who the original man is and who the colored man is, if you don't have that black and white sense of seeing things and knowledge what I'm saying. I'm not talking about to be blind. So, you seeing everything in black and white. Man, everything is black and white, man. Stop that bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying? All that mixed up colorism, all that multi-diverse, all that multi-diverse bullshit. Man, y'all can take that somewhere for a long ass time until black people get our shit together. Okay? Because until we get our shit together, don't come at me with all that multicultural, we're supposed to be one with everyone, we're supposed Man, fuck out of here, because everybody ain't one with us. And everybody ain't looking to be one with us. You know what I'm saying? So, in fact, they manipulate the situation. Like, for example, I'll give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about, right? You see all of this stuff they talk about going on with this whole, I'm drifting, but let me speak on this. Fuck it, I gotta speak on it. With this whole, they talk about Asian hate stuff going on and all of this, Asian people being discriminated against. Last time I checked, everybody been getting discriminated against in this country. Why all of a sudden is the focus on quote unquote Asian people? Is that because Kamala Harris is in office, who's actually Asian, not so-called African, as she fooled all of us black people to think? You know what I'm saying? And look who she gonna look out for. She gonna look out for her people. See what I'm saying? So now while black people still getting shot up by the police, I just heard some shit on the news today, another black person getting shot by the police. Shit is still going on. They never gonna do nothing about that. But they're gonna focus on everybody else except for who needs to be focused on. And then they always get us to join them and help them fight their fight. Like, yo, the last time I recalled, you know what I'm saying? There was a lot of people that had discrimination against us. A lot of so-called foreign people that come to this country, they be discriminating against us. You know what I'm saying? And when we go into their places of business, because that's what a lot of them are here for. They ain't here to be friends with you and I. They don't live in the same community as you and I. And if they do, they live real secluded and they keep their kids away from your kids. Facts. And that's a real deep thing you got to really acknowledge. If somebody keeping their kids away from your kids, that's some real deep shit you need to look at. Because obviously they see in their mind that my kids do not need to be integrating with these type of children. And they look at your children as those type of children their kids need not to integrate with. So look at that sense of it. See what I'm saying? Y'all always want to be friends with somebody. And we always been taught to dilute the black coffee. We always been taught to pour the cream and the sugar in the black coffee. And now black coffee ain't got no more strength. It ain't how Avery Spears said, America ain't ready for Bernie Mac black. You know what I'm saying? They ain't ready for that Bernie Mac black. Word is bond, God. They ain't ready for Bernie Mac black. That's that original black. You know what I'm saying? That not even original, that crispy. You know what I'm saying? It's past original. That shit is crispy. You know what I'm saying? That's that Bernie Mac black. America ain't ready for that Bernie Mac black. You know what I mean? But word, you know what I'm saying? But we always been taught to dilute our coffee. You know what I'm saying? Dilute, and I'm just using that as an expression. Even Malcolm even used to say, oh, the only thing I like integrated is my coffee. Not saying he was saying it on some sellout shit, but he was saying it on some like, yo, I don't fuck with these white people. We gonna deal with some separation shit. And the only time I integrate anything black and white is my coffee. He used it like jokingly. You know what I'm saying? But, but there's a psychology to that because, like I said, we always been taught to dilute the black coffee. You know what I'm saying? Like, historically, culturally, like we just can't be black on its own. It always got to be black associated with this, in affiliation with this, under the umbrella of this, supported by this, funded and backed by this. No, why can't it just be all black, funded all by itself, all black, all for itself, all black, by black? I remember that FUBU shit, for us, by us type shit? Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like that should still be a long-lasting brand, you know what I'm saying? But black people don't support our own shit like that. We want to support Nietzsche and all the other Ferragamos and all this fucking fancy shit we can't even, how nigga May said buying shit we can't even pronounce shit. You know what I mean? All that. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, back to the spirituality shit though. And all of this plays a role because, like I said, the base root of it is knowing who you are as the original man and knowing that how the devil is made. Knowing that these people were grafted from you, you know what I'm saying? And that they are not the original, you know what I'm saying? And in the state that they are in and existing in, this is how they are functioning. So we got to be aware of that. And if we are not, then we're going to get caught up in, like I say, the multi-diverse stuff and all that and thinking we're supposed to be friends with everybody, why everybody's stabbing us in the back, why everybody's stepping on us to get to the top, why everybody's just using and abusing us and throwing us to the fucking curb when they done with us, like a piece of toilet paper or some shit, or like a fucking hand, fucking wipe or some shit, you know what I mean? And when they done with you, just throw you to the side like you was okay. You served your purpose, nigga. Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like we love being abused like that. How the 136 says, love the devil when the devil gives him nothing. You know what I'm saying? Love the devil because the devil gives him nothing. Like, why are we loving these devils and these devils ain't even giving us nothing, man? You know what I'm saying? We put people in so-called office and then they get in there and they do everything for everybody else right in our face. And I don't know if y'all forgot when Kamala Harris said out her mouth, oh, am I going to do anything specifically for black people? No. Did y'all forget when she said that? Oh, yeah. Y'all skipped over that. Because y'all was so caught up on talking about Trump and how racist he is, right? So you don't see the racism formulating right in front of your face on a real level. Where they use your own so-called melanin to trick you into thinking something good is coming for you. And it's not. Just like I got tricked with the Obama shit, you know what I'm saying? I can't lie, you know what I mean? I got tricked with the Obama shit too, you know what I'm saying? In the beginning, I was on that bandwagon. Yeah, Obama, first black president, you know what I'm saying? First half black president, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, America ain't ready for Bernie Mac Black. Acknowledge that. They ain't no first black president, first half black president. And really, technically, he wasn't even that, because we know there was so-called presidents before him, and one specifically, John Hanson, who was the mastermind writer behind the Articles of Confederation, who ruled this country under the Articles of Confederation as president before Washington. And actually, he was the one who inaugurated Washington into office. And when he got into office, he went outside the White House and he took down the Moorish flag, which was red with the green star symbolizing the cherry tree. That's where you get the expression, George Washington chopped down the cherry tree. He took down the Moorish flag and he put up the American rag with the 13 stars representing the 13 colonies of the time. Also representing 13 and masonry and all of that, and 12 steps on the pyramid, 13 being the capstone, and so forth and all of that. And you go through 1st to 12th grade, then you graduate, you get that capstone on your head, they put that square on your head, which is a pyramid base, and on that base you reach for the stars through higher education, which you... Peace, pardon me for that call. But yeah, what was I saying? Damn. But anyway, let me go on back to what I was saying about spirituality versus religion. So we coming out of religion and into all this spirituality, but when we come into all these different fields of information, people get all over the place with it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, they're not rooted. Not knowing supreme mathematics, supreme alphabet, 120 lessons, knowing that basic root of things. You know what I'm saying? Because basically the lessons gives answers to a lot of these religious questions and puts it in a real sense. Like, see, the whole science, when we talk about God and devil and the whole story about God and devil and how the devil was once amongst God, he was ran out of heaven, and we talk about how we ran the devil over the hot Arabian desert into the caves of West Asia, as we now call Europe. You know what I'm saying? So forth. It's the same it's the same principles in the story, but the whole thing about it is that when we say the black man is God and the white man is the devil, we're taking responsibility for all of this. So when we say why did God make devil, like in the lessons when it says, tell us what and how devil's made, why did God make devil, you know what I'm saying, so forth, like we explain and show and prove all of that, you know what I'm saying, and we're taking responsibility for it, and we will handle all of that in our own good time. You know what I mean? And not to say that the gods are slacking, but the 85 that is also attached to God, because they are original peoples too. They are our peoples too. They got to wake up, man. We're trying to get y'all to wake up so we can move the whole flow of the universe. You know what I mean? Because the universe is all mental. It's all based upon the consciousness of the people. So we educate our people and we awaken our people and we get our people enlightened to look at what happened through the movement of hip hop. The gods started hip hop. The gods was the fundamental essence of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And look how we moved our people and motivated our people by dropping the science and the rhymes, by dropping the knowledge and exposing them to African history and culture and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Look how we uplifted our people through hip hop. So, and that was just as they would say, urban, way of expressing, who we are and what we are as a people. So, you know what I'm saying? That's just an example. You know what I'm saying? That's just an example of how we show and prove. You know what I mean? The power of God, you know what I'm saying? Of who we are, you know what I mean? So, and hip-hop is universal now. It always was universal, you know what I mean? It always was universal. But you could say the Bronx or Pelon was that spark, you know what I mean? Was that spark where that atom started rolling and collecting more matter and grew into this great star or planet, you know what I'm saying? which was made or grown from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you know, they say 74 the culture was born, you know what I'm saying? Pardon me, y'all. Had in mind a physical and a beautiful black woman. Excuse me. But yeah, so we got to get back on point mentally to know that all of this religious stuff that we study, we got to put it in proper context by knowing and understanding mathematics, or more so supreme mathematics, and the science of everything in life. You know what I mean? The science of everything in life. You know, science of everything in life. And that's not just love, peace, and happiness, because it says science of everything in life, comma, love, peace, and happiness. So the science of everything in life is the science of everything in life. Science of everything in life ain't love, peace, and happiness. Science of everything in life is the science of everything in life. You know what I'm saying? Let's put it in proper context. That's another thing too, man, I was building on about, when y'all see that video I did about the correction of the lessons, and I'm talking about how, like, you know, certain things are spoken grammatically incorrect, and that grammatic incorrection will bring about a misunderstanding, you know what I mean, about what you're saying, you know what I mean, or how you may be putting things into context. You know, one word can change a nation, as we say, you know what I mean, one comma, or period, or this and that in the wrong place can change the whole perception of it, you know what I'm saying, like literally, you know what I'm saying. So we really got to be like real grammatic with things, man. And that's not to be all like, yo, come on, God, damn, God, let me just, you know, nah, God, because even if my lessons don't say what your lessons say, we going to show and prove that we applying intelligence to it, and we're not just taking it on face value and being like, oh, yo, it's what it says, man, it's what it say, God, that's what it say. No, because, you know, we building and we showing and proving what it says, you know what I'm saying? So, spirituality. The root of the spirit is spira, which is breath. And when you're dealing with spirituality, you're dealing with different breathing systems, breathing techniques. You know, like I say, the ancient people and the people of the East, they study prana, chi, breathing techniques, meditation, things of that nature, because they're really in tune with the elements of nature. And they know that the elements of nature is what is life. You know what I'm saying? And nature comes from the word neter, or neteru in plural, meaning gods or gods. You know, God or gods. You know what I'm saying? So the forces of nature, the ancient people perceived as different gods, or as some would say different spirits, different forces of nature. You know what I'm saying? You know, what made the motion, the spark of energy that made everything move in the universe, that made things do what it do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the science of your mind. Because when we understand the science of the mind and how the mind, you know what I'm saying, works, and how thought works, you know what I'm saying, the power of thought, you know what I'm saying, every thought you think is it has pressure, and that pressure builds a pressure, and as well releases a pressure. And when that pressure is released into the universe, it brings into existence all physical manifestations of what the mind was perceiving. You know what I mean? It brings it into the physical. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's just real, man. That's just like really real. You know what I mean? It's not a coincidence. You know how you be talking about somebody and then they pop up, you be like, yo, so we just talked about you. Yeah, man, it's not a coincidence, man. It's like, you know, you can actually talk things up. You can talk things into existence. That's why they say the power of life and death is in the tongue. You know, and be careful what you say, because, you know what I'm saying, you speak things into existence. You know what I mean? Peace. You know what I mean? So, you know, you always want to be mindful of your words, how you say them, what you say. You know what I mean? You don't want to be always so free-spirited with your words, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we do this. A lot of times we do this on Facebook. We be doing it. You know what I'm saying? Causing a lot of arguments and confusion. You know what I'm saying? But you know, and this is because everybody has their own way of seeing things, and being the fact that we're not rooted, we're not like, we don't have like knowledge given to us like culturally or tribally as to where, you know what I'm saying, we're all like, not like we're robots. We're not clones, are we? Right? Yeah, that commercial was funny. Not like we clones and shit, but we all have a systematic, common sense of how we all do things. Like, as we say, like, yo, black people shit, we hear some shit, yo, we getting up out of there, you know what I'm saying? Like we just know how to all move on one accord, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just common shit we just know, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that ain't fear, that's intelligence, you know what I'm saying? But, you got some people that'll be like, what was that? Oh my God, did you hear that, honey? Hey, let's go see what that was. Yeah, let's go back. Like, really? Like, really, motherfucker? Okay. Take your ass back if you want to. But anyway, you know what I mean? I'm joking around. But, like, for example, even myself, man, just being a quote unquote 5%er or member of the Nation of Gods and Earths. You know what I'm saying? Me, myself, just adding on with this mathematics and teaching this knowledge for many, many years. A lot of people that so-called know me or I know them, we're acquainted and everything. There's a common consciousness grid among us, even if it's to the very low, simple, even with the common people, even if it's just a sense of peace, of us greeting each other in peace, and then showing and proving that action of peace. Like, yo, there's no confusion amongst us. Like, yo, peace, God. So everything is peace. So even if they ain't with the mathematics and with the culture and all of that, they at least understand that, yo, the gods is about peace. You know what I'm saying? And that's the vibes. You know what I'm saying? So as these young kids say, they know the vibes, you know what I'm saying? They know the vibes, you know what I'm saying? The gods is on some peace shit. But that don't mean that, how the God said, that don't mean that this piece can't turn into this piece. You know what I'm saying? Word is bomb. So don't sleep, you know what I mean? Think shit is all sweet. But yeah, because the 7 could put you 6 feet deep. Yeah. But anyway, so how they say social distance and keep your 6 feet. But see, that's 6 feet, that 6 is equality. See, God, because we deal in social equality. Fuck all that social distancing shit. That social distancing means the lack of black power. See what I'm saying? And we deal in equality, God. We deal in power and equality. And we know that acknowledgement is power, you know what I'm saying, by acknowledging any power to show and prove inequality. So we don't acknowledge each other, and if we don't show and prove that we together, we have some kind of power and unity, then and we all with the social distancing shit, yeah, I understand for the purpose of the so-called virus and all of that. But in your mind, mentally, don't mentally distance yourself from your people. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? And start acting all brand new and shit. You know what I'm saying? Word is bond. As soon as this corona shit hit, mad people was acting brand new. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I seen some shit on the bus one day, right? And I had to kind of weigh and judge it from both sides, because at first I was on some shit like that too. Like, the lady was on some, like, all right, boom, she got on the bus or whatever, and the lady, she had her, there was a lady that was sitting, and she had her bags, it was like a 2-seat thing or whatever. She had her bags on one side, and she was sitting on the other side. And the bus was already packed. So you know how people get on the bus and then they want to get a seat and shit, and they're like, oh, excuse me, can I sit there? The one lady was being mad rude at first, and then another lady tried to come and do her little fake I'm a politely gangster her out of her seat shit. Like, yo, miss, I mean, I'm asking politely, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, can I have a seat? Like, yo, I mean, like, yo, I'm not with that government shit, yo. Yo, that shit is ignorant, yo, you fucking ignorant. And you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I had to weigh and judge it from two sides, because, like I said, when the shit first popped off, and I knew that this was some bullshit that the government was hyping up and everything, and it was a pandemic and all of that, I was like, yeah, yo, people are acting ignorant because they don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But now that I see that this shit really is, piece of Yuna Hathar L. Bay in the building. Peace to you. Appreciate your attendance. Peace to Nick P. I'm going to say it like that. I don't want to mess up your name. Peace to Nick P in the building. Peace to Alfonso Young in the building. Peace to Ivory Moorfield in the building. Peace to Frederick Hicks in the building. You know what I mean? Appreciate y'all attendance. So, you know, we just got to be rooted, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying, man, we got to be rooted. You know what I mean? We got to be rooted in who we are and know the science. Because like I say, as we coming into this information age or this age of information, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's, you know, getting all this different information. Everybody is on smoke. Oh, I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. Oh, I don't go to church and all of that. I just believe in God. I have a personal connection with God. And first of all, that whole fake concept that you have of that mystery God comes from that Bible that you've been indoctrinated with when you were from little. Now understand, unless you had a thorough deprogramming of your mind for some years, not just a little couple weeks, you just been on YouTube watching some videos of some brothers' lectures and stuff, and you think you know some shit now. No, I'm talking about being rooted, meaning like you was brought up in this shit. You know what I'm saying? Or rather, I said you brought yourself up in it. You cultured yourself. You know what I mean? As they say, you know how they say a woman is seasoned or a man is seasoned. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're still wet behind the ears, you know what I mean? Then you need to do a lot of more studying, self-analyzing, self-perspectives. Self-analyzation. You know what I'm saying? You got to analyze yourself and see and work out the nooks and crannies within yourself to perfect yourself, to get yourself on God mode, to get yourself on God level or earth level. You know what I'm saying? Queen level. You know what I mean? To be that wisdom or wise dome, not the wise dumb, thinking you wise but you really dumb because you don't know how to express yourself. Being dumb don't mean you stupid and have the disability to learn. Being dumb means you don't know how to speak. Being dumb means you don't know how to articulate yourself. So if you don't know how to articulate yourself, you don't have wisdom in that sense, in a verbal sense. But some people have wisdom in a physical sense, like as to where, like women, I notice it ain't always about what they say. It's about what they, and that's with everybody. But really with women, because a man, you know, at least a man, you know, we knowledge, we try to, stand on our word, you know what I'm saying? Like if a man ain't got his word, like if a nigga ain't about his word, man, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say, nigga. You ain't even standing on your word, nigga. Fuck you, nigga. Yeah, nigga. Talk that shit to somebody else, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know, so, you know, a person got to be real, you know what I'm saying? They got to be on point about this. So, you know, if you're not even going to honor your own word or stand on your own word, then therefore, whatever you try to say to me or anybody, it's not going to have any validity because they're going to see through your actions, you know what I'm saying, that your word ain't worth what it is weight in gold, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? You got to be worth your weight in gold, so to speak. So, you know, that's the reality of it. So that's what I say about being rooted. So therefore, if you're not rooted in the science that you are the God, you are the earth, you are the queen, you know what I'm saying, however you want to, you know, whatever perspective you know, Moabitis, you know what I'm saying, Moor, whatever my Moors brothers is, however you may see it. You know, if you don't see yourself in a sense of divinity, then your divinity is going to be taken from you. Or rather I say you will never discover your divinity, and therefore you won't be able to apply it. So all that I'm spiritual, I'm this, I'm that, I'm blah, 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 you still worshiping or acknowledging something outside of yourself, which means that you're still under some form of religion, which is a sense of bondage or a sense of mistaken identity, because you're not identifying with the proper source, which is you yourself, within your own soul, within your own mind, your own heart, your own being. You, the real you, not who you dress up and come outside your house to be, the real you, when ain't nobody else there and nobody else is around and and all of that, and it's just you, that person right, that being right there, that's who you got to be. And if you can be that, regardless of whoever anybody think, then that's gonna show and prove that you being who you be. Now, of course, now we know that we kind of monitor our actions in society, because everybody may not be on the level you on, and everybody may not see things the way you see it, and you may actually cause some kind of disruption within the norm of things. You know what I'm saying? You might cause a glitch in the matrix. You know what I'm saying? Fucking around on some Neo shit. When Neo realized who he was, he started to see the glitches in the matrix. He was like, oh shit, yo, this shit is, and then everything slowed down. Do the knowledge to that, y'all. That Matrix movie is real deep, man. You know what I'm saying? When he realized that shit, he noticed everything slowed down, and he was able to see everything for what it was. And notice how the agents, they became all mathematical codes. He's seen them in cryptic mathematical codes, and he was able to dissect all those mathematical codes. So you see what I'm saying? You see how the mind works? So once you break into that, and Morpheus was training him, he was like, yo, listen, man, you gotta believe it. You gotta know yourself. You gotta trust yourself, man. Like, yo, man, if you know what I'm saying? Like, you think that's air you're breathing? Now people took that on some next shit. Like, yo, yeah, God, you think shit is air? Nah, God, we not even breathing air. Nah, man, get out of that. Let's not get superficial with it. Let's not get superstitious with it. But they was telling you that in the Matrix, he was saying, you think that's air you're breathing? No, this is a systematic program that we set up in your mind for you to think that this shit is real. Just like the fake world that we live in. We think all this shit we living in, we think all this fake shit around us is real. I mean, yeah, it's real in the physical sense, but our mentality about it is fake because they taught us to think a certain way, and therefore we won't see it in its reality or its true perception because, you know, we've been caught up in the Matrix. You know what I'm saying? That was their whole purpose. That was the point. You know what I mean? To catch us in the Matrix. So, how do we get out of this Matrix? Well, I would say it like this. The universe is a universe, and all is mental. So being that they've trained our mind to think in the Matrix, we've made this actual universe a Matrix. So in order to change the actual universe is to change our actual mind. Change your way of thinking, and you'll change the universe around you. You know what I mean? And like I say, if the whole universe is mental, if we collectively change our way of thinking from off this dumb, nigger, negative, ignorant bullshit and get on some positive enlightenment, so-called spiritual God shit, then we will really change the whole atmosphere, the whole state of the universe. And that's real. So the power is within us, man. But, you know, we don't want to come together collectively and do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, a lot of times it ain't even nothing we got to do physically. I mean, because the body is going to is going to follow the mind anyway. So even if we just start thinking these thoughts, you know what I'm saying? If we just start thinking these thoughts, then shit will start happening in your own environment, and then you'll start to understand how it happened for you, and you'll start to see how it happens for us collectively. So then you'll get in tune with that mental consciousness grid I was speaking about. You know what I'm saying? And everyone can be on the same consciousness grid because we'll see the reality of things happening. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's like, you know, like look at when the Nation of Islam came into the black community and everybody seen what was going on. A lot of brothers joined the Nation of Islam. A lot of sisters joined the Nation of Islam because they seen the change of what was taking place and what the people was doing. When the Gods of Earth came about, a lot of brothers got in the Nation of Gods of Earth. A lot of sisters became queens and earths because they seen the change in the movement of what was going on. So if we able to mobilize our people and get our people together to move on one accord, then that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? So that we could show and prove that unity, you know what I'm saying? So, but like I say, it just starts with the information, as we know, the knowledge. But you know what I'm saying? We go from knowledge to born, y'all. So come on, man, let's get past the state of knowledge. Damn, we ain't past knowledge yet. We should be way past knowledge into wisdom, understanding, living a culture, empowering ourselves to show and prove our equality in this world as gods and earths, so that we can build to be born in this universal cipher. You know what I mean? That's how we got to take it from knowledge to born. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just knowledge. A lot of people don't even want to get knowledge. Knowledge of self. You don't even want to know who you are. So how you going to start the process of any kind of mathematical change in the universe? Ain't shit going to happen because you ain't even getting the knowledge of yourself. So what's going to happen? What change is going to happen in your universe? What magnetic you going to have to make some kind of change if you ain't even building up the knowledge of your own self? Studying and analyzing your own self, applying information to your own life to better yourself. What change are you going to make? You're not going to make no change. Things are always going to stay the same. And then guess what? Since you're not taking responsibility as the original black man, who are you going to blame all your failures on? Oh, it's the white man. See, the white man. See, the white man. See, because the white man, see, the devil, man. The white man, they got us trapped in, they got us in slavery. And see, these white people is racist, man. They don't want to see us succeed, man. Okay, that's true. But guess what? Do you want to see you succeed? Beyond and regardless of all of that bullshit. Yes, we got a lot of negative adversity. I'm not saying we do not. Don't think 1 second I'm trying to say, oh, what the devil ain't doing ain't real. We got a lot of adversity. You know what I'm saying? All in all, we got to persist past that. And the only way you're going to do that is by gaining more knowledge to better your, and applying that knowledge to better yourself. It's that simple. 1 and 2, knowledge and wisdom. You know what I'm saying? If you don't stick and move, goddamn it, you're going to get knocked the fuck out. Simple. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be live. You got to be in the game. You got to be moving around. You got to be, you got to be agile. You got to be, functioning. You know what I'm saying? So if all these different things we doing, smoking weed, doing this, doing that, some of these things are holding us back. And I say that because I smoke weed myself. And I know a lot of times when I smoke, I get in that relaxed state. And I'll be like, yeah, I'll do that shit tomorrow. Yeah, nah, we got to stop all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because that tomorrow may not come. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? And that's, I don't like to speak like that, but it's a real, something real. Everybody thought about, that day not coming. So, it's just real. So being that we know that is real, you know what I'm saying? Because as we know, a lot of people we've known are no longer here. So then we got to take, while we here, serious, man. We got to take it serious, man. Like, be doing something that's going to better yourself. Like right now, like me, myself, specifically, like I'm doing a lot of estate planning. I'm working on my estate, you know what I mean? I'm like planning my estate. So, to get your affairs in orders legally, put everything in writing, because that's basically what it is contracting unlimited, the ability to contract without limits, limitless. So, you got to set up your contract, set up your estate, plan your estate. You know what I mean? Even as a planner, they say before you become a planner, you got to plan it. You know what I'm saying? And a planet is something that was made or grown from the beginning. So how I look at that is like I look at every creation that I work on, whether it's a music album, whether it's working on my trust, whether it's developing this LLC I just put together, which I'm gonna build with y'all on. But I'm waiting to get my filing and everything before I speak on it, because I'm gonna make sure everything is right and exact. And and all of that type stuff, you know what I'm saying? Just putting certain things in order and getting your affairs in order, and that's showing maturity. That's showing the fact that you're not a minority, meaning you're not a minor who thinks in an adolescent state of mind, who needs someone else to handle their affairs. You know what I mean? Showing and proving that your own private banker, your own private executor, trustee, and beneficiary of your own living trust, whether it's revocable or irrevocable, more preferably irrevocable, because that way, it can be set in stone for what it is, and it won't be subject to revocable statutes. You know what I mean? If you know what that means, if you study in trust law and so forth, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, basically meaning that, you know what I mean? Irrevocable meaning it can't be changed, it's set in stone. Revocable means you could change it, you know what I'm saying? And also somebody else be able to change it if you become incapacitated without a successor trustee or without someone to follow up on what you did. So the science is basically taking control from the government back into your own hands. You know what I mean? I put the jewel out there about the Minnesota Rule 220. You know what I'm saying? It's on my website. You know what I'm saying? So it's on my page, my Facebook page. If you want a copy of it, just hit me in the inbox, send me a little text, send me a message or whatever. Be like, yeah, what's that? The Minnesota Rule 220, you know what I mean? Broke it down about how you attach this written statement or this affidavit to the birth certificate, expressing the fact that you're claiming ownership of you're claiming beneficial ownership of it, and you're becoming the said registered owner of said outstanding certificate of title, which is your certificate of live birth, long form, your long form birth certificate. So, and then now once you have that document authenticated and attached to the affidavit, which proves that you're making a contract, you're ratifying the contract, not only with the courts but with the Department of Vital Statistics. And I think that maybe you should send them a copy too, to let them know, like, yo, listen, yeah, I know when I was born, I was unconscious and I didn't know what the fuck was going on, and y'all made this little certificate and y'all, doing y'all little commerce with it through the QSEP numbers, which is the red numbers on the back and all of that. But listen, yo, I'm here now, and I'm taking control of this instrument, this security, and I'm using it now as a negotiable instrument to what? Maybe discharge a debt, maybe to cure a bond. You know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? You're using it to now act as a trustee in your own fiduciary capacity. Basically meaning you're handling things on your own. The government ain't telling you what to do anymore. You're telling them what it is. You know what I mean? You can't do that, man. You can't do, man. You can't. Oh, wait. Are you thinking like a slave? Are you telling me that you don't have the ability to stand up to your slave master and tell them that you're a grown-ass man now and I'll take it from here? Is that what you're saying? Oh, okay, then that's what you're saying. Okay, but I'm saying that I'm grown enough to tell whoever, yeah, I got it from here. I'm good now. Yeah, I understand the whole system is going on. And as a child, I was unaware, and my mother was unaware, so she just signed a birth certificate not knowing. Yeah, okay, yeah. But now that I'm aware and I'm woke and I have the ability to contract unlimitedly, I'm going to put it in perspective like this. And this is what I say now. And this is how it goes from here. Yeah, you got the ability to do that. You know what I'm saying? And, now there's going to be some statutes or specifications in which you can operate within due to the rules of said laws. But however, it's a better state of you just being told what to do and being told your options, as opposed to you knowing the options and then be able to maybe choose an option for yourself. Be like, you know what, this is how I want to go about it. Damn, I never knew I could do this. Oh shit, damn, I'm gonna do this right here, this, that, and third. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit, I didn't know I could do this. Boom, 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 boom. Like for example, I was on and I like to think another person. I'm gonna send you a shout out too, and I might even send you something in your Cash App too. Word is bond, I am. That's my word is bond. I'm gonna send you a little something, a little gift certificate in your Cash App for giving me that information. And at first when I heard it, the brother, because look, I sent out a thing, I said, yo, I need knowledge and understanding of a master. Dealing with, how to establish a trust and put together a trust and so forth, And somebody sent me a thing, said LegalZoom.com or something like that. And I didn't necessarily go on LegalZoom. I went on LawDepot.com. Which is the bomb, y'all. Check out that site. You want to get your estate planning together and put all your documents and all that together, boom, boom, boom. This is not legal advice, y'all. And put my disclaimer out there. It's not legal advice. I'm just sharing information. If you want to put together your documents and all that good stuff and get your shit together, LawDepot.com. Go on there and you'll see. You know what I'm saying? And it makes it so easy. It just makes the templates. It got the templates already organized. All you do is type in your information and boom, 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 boom. And you ain't got to put no socials in there, no kind of information like that. So, you know what I mean? And boom, all you do is take that information. Once you print it out, go get it notarized, go file it at the Department of State. And boom, now you have on file whatever contract that it is that you went and filed. You take that filing and you place it under the schedule of your trust. At the end of a trust, you have what's called a schedule. And a schedule basically lists all the property within the trust. So on that schedule, you list that this document that you filed, and you list the name of the document with the filing number and date, and you just align it in your schedule. You just list it as another number in your schedule. So then when you do that, you are now aligning your whole, you're now basically putting that document under the jurisdiction of the trust. And being that the trust is living, it's a living trust. A living trust is the only trust that you can operate fully, as to where you're the executor, the truster, meaning the creator of the trust, the trustee, meaning the one who administrates the trust and functions and all handles all the paperwork, administration, everything, and the beneficiary, the one who receives the benefits of the trust. And you can appoint successor trustees and executors and beneficiaries and so forth, as you so choose. You know what I mean? So basically, you're in control of your estate, basically, with a living trust. Now, other types of trusts, you might have to get a lawyer and go through a law firm or this, that, and third, and basically have them have jurisdiction over that trust through the laws of the state or whatever the case may be. But if you want to govern your own trust privately and in the public, you got to establish it first in the private and then bring it into the public. And I'm going to do a whole nother build on that, you know what I'm saying, as well, you know what I mean? But But yeah, so yeah, yo, it's getting kind of late, y'all. You know what I mean? Hey, and I'm about to bomb back to y'all maybe a little later. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just want to come out and do a little lit eye for the day. You know what I'm saying? Build with y'all. You know what I mean? It's been a little minute. You know, been handling some business. You know what I'm saying? Taking advantage of this so-called quarantine time, where everybody's supposed to be so-called quarantining. I'm in the motherfucking lab cooking up some shit. You know what I'm saying? I heard it's bomb. So a lot of people just entertaining and passing time and doing lollygagging and doing whatever. And I'm trying to get my affairs in order. I'm trying to get my shit together. You know what I'm saying? Like on a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, But yo, listen, y'all. Love y'all. Peace, y'all. And I'm gonna come back on part 2 of this religion versus spirituality. Part 2 coming soon, y'all. All right. Peace to the fam. Love y'all. Build with y'all later. Peace.